history program at James Madison University is distinguished, I think, primarily because of the emphasis we place on undergraduate research and writing. Students will do traditional history courses that involve some lecture and some seminar, but the primary focus from the time they're sophomores is really engaging them in activities where, rather than reading history or listening to someone talk to them about history, it's actually becoming engaged in the activities of doing what historians do. We place a lot of emphasis on teaching students to develop an argument, to explain that argument to varieties of audiences. Perhaps most importantly, skepticism, the ability to question and to challenge everything and not accept anything until you have evidence which sufficiently supports it.
Public history is essentially how historians and folks in the community present history outside of an academic setting. It teaches students how to work with sources, work outside of the classroom, and work in ways, learn research methods that are important research methods that all academic historians rely upon. It gets them out of the classroom setting into kind of the community. That's another pretty essential reason why we do public history here at JMU.
I've benefited from the public history concentration at JMU in that I've gotten lots of practical and theoretical experience at school. I can take classes that teach me about museums, archives, other sorts of public history things, and then when I decide what field I want to go into, I can then pursue an internship.
Every student getting the public history concentration will have to sign up for an internship where they're actually working in a museum setting, in a park setting, engaged in actually doing public history. Traditionally, historians work with secondary materials published by historians or other academics, and will work with manuscripts, archival collections, and newspapers, and never actually have to leave either a library setting or the classroom or the front of their computer in order to do their research. But in these cases, the students will actually have to engage both in their internship as well as the coursework with people in the community.
A lot of the courses that I have taken have helped me develop myself as a professional, and I understand that I want to work in museums, and those classes kind of teach me what I want to do.
My most important research experience has probably been my honors thesis, which I'm working on now. I've actually been working on since my sophomore year, doing different pieces of it. That's allowed me to go to a number of conferences. I've presented pieces of it. It's allowed me to get public speaking and answering questions on my topic. I feel like I'm more of an expert.
Ultimately, we try to encourage as many of our students as possible to present their research in an off-campus environment at a student or other conference, locally, regionally, or nationally. And these kinds of approaches are embedded throughout the program at the sophomore, junior, and senior levels.
It's helped me become more confident as a student, really. Being able and being willing to put my stuff forward to be criticized or accepted. Every paper I write, I think now maybe I could take this to a conference. It's quite an interesting experience.
I think being a public historian at James Madison has prepared me a lot for continuing to grad school or going into the field of museum work.
Every day I go into a classroom or into a seminar, or into a discussion with my students, I learn something new. So it's a perpetually ongoing process of learning new information and new material, and I learn as much from my students as they ever do from me.
It's been awesome. I've had so many opportunities in the history department. I'm glad I'm here.